In this video, I'm going to show you just how to get started in your site plan. The first thing that we want to do is open up the site plan from your project browser. It should look like this, and when it's open, you'll see your house, but only from a bird's eye view. We're way up above looking down at the roof. Okay, the next thing is open up the assignment description for CD Project Site Plan, and you'll see that I have 3 plat maps. You can download all 3 of them or just one of them, and this is what it'll look like. Independence Estates, these are really big lots. Each one's at least an acre. You can't choose the ones over here. You only want to choose one of these sites that's accessible from either this road or this road. Okay, Nordic Ridge, these are also larger sites, larger lots. You got really big ones in the back. Those are all 2 acres. You probably won't want to choose those because you'll have to add in these radiuses, these curves. That's a little bit harder. The ones that are going to be easier are just 4 straight lines on all sides. But that being said, don't be afraid to challenge yourself just a little bit. There are ways of putting this in without too much trouble. And then the last one, these are all smaller sites. Each one of these is just a 1/4 of an acre lot. So maybe the first thing to do is make sure that your house is going to fit on whatever it is that you choose. This development is quite large, and you're just going to pick one of these sites or one of these lots. And again, it might be nice to get one with just 4 straight sides, but in this case, you also have to think about, do I want one that's oriented left-right or east-west, or one that's oriented north-south? And what's going to help you make that decision is, how is my house oriented? So if I go back to Revit, this is my garage over here, and this is the front of my house over here. So for many of you, if your garage and your front door are facing the same direction, then you just want to make sure to get a lot where your garage can easily get access to the street. So for me, I need a corner lot. And if I go back to these plats, the only problem with demonstrating this on a corner lot is that I would have to show it to you with an extra segment in mind. And that's okay. I'll go ahead and do that. I'll pick a lot like this one. But again, whatever you choose may just be 4 sides, and then you wouldn't have to add in this extra segment. So anyways, decide what it is that you want. I think I'll go with a larger lot like this, and I'll go ahead and add in the little radius. And the next thing you want to do is just get an idea for how big will this actually be on the page. And so I'm going to study my lot and just see that I'm almost 200 feet on one side, 218 over here, 220 over here. And this is probably about 220 down here too. It's just that we've got that little added radius. So I'm going to come back into my project. I'm in the site plan, and I'm just going to draw with detail lines an approximation of that site. So we were like 220 feet, and then I can't remember, but almost 220 feet. And I'm just going to do a box all the way around, and I'll grab these lines and just kind of position this the way that my house might fit on a lot. And then I'm going to go over to my site plan sheet, and yours would be found, you'd probably want to click on sheets and then open site plan. Your ordering and sheet numbers will all be different than mine, but find the one that says site plan. Open it up. If your site plan doesn't show up on that sheet, then go back to your regular views, find your site plan. Here, I'll just take this off so you can see what I would have to do. I'm going to hit delete there. You'll find your site plan, and you'll just drag it right onto the sheet. Now that may or may not fit on your sheet because you need to look at the scale. Mine's currently set to a 1/16 of an inch. That's kind of atypical for a site plan, but it actually does look like a really good fit on this sheet, so I'll probably leave it there. But the scales that you would want to cycle through and just see what works best for you would probably be to start with 1 inch equals 10 feet. This one right here. That's more of a common scale for a site plan. In fact, site plans are usually going to be 1 inch equals 10 feet, 1 inch equals 20, or 1 inch equals 30 for a really big site. But 1 inch equals 10 feet, for me with this 1 acre lot, that's just not going to work. And that means it's not going to work for you either if you have a larger lot. If you go with one of those 1/4 acre lots, then yeah, this scale would be perfect for you. So the next one that I would try would be 1 inch equals 20 feet. And even though that does work, it's just too small for my liking, especially for an assignment where we're going to put some detail on the site and we want to be able to see that detail more clearly. So even though I might normally do that, in this case, what I'm going to do and what I want you to do if you have a 1 acre lot is go find a 1/16 inch equals a foot. And that's about as big as I can get it without choosing a scale that's going to be too big. If we were to go with the very next one in line, it'd be 3/32. And you can see that that is, I mean, it's really close, but I feel like it's just pushing the limit a little too far. So we'll stick with this. Okay, and then if you've determined that the orientation works with the site that you've chosen, see I have a road over here and a road over here, so that the house faces one road, the garage faces another. This will work for me. And if yours works too, then go ahead and go back to the site plan. We don't actually want these lines. They were just to get us started. Okay, and then we'll go back, and in the next video, I will show you what to do with the meets and bounds and how to add in your street, your property lines, your setbacks, and everything else.